President Trump's State of the Union address last night featured a number of tributes and touching moments. But as you saw earlier in the show, perhaps one of the most heartwarming moments was when the president recognized Robin Schneider and her young daughter, Ellie, who was born in just 21 weeks and 6 days. Ellie's mom, Robin Schneider, joins me now by Skype from Gladstone, Missouri, along with Ellie. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us on tonight, Tracy.
Well, Robin, take me back to 2017 when you were pregnant with Ellie. What was going through your mind when you realized that you were going to have to deliver your little daughter just over 21 weeks?
The first time we were told that she was going to be born, she was actually 17 weeks. And there is no hope for viability at that age. So when we reached 21 weeks and 6 days, there still was really no hope, but we were glad that we had gotten that much farther.
I know you've described her size at birth as not much bigger than a soda can. It's really hard to imagine. What were the doctors telling you at that time about her odds of survival?
She had a 0% chance. But the hospital that we were at actually had a really great rate of success with 22-weekers. So that's why the doctor on call decided to go ahead and give Ellie a chance and see how she did. But she told us going in that she would try, but they just did not think she was going to make it at all.
That must have been so hard for you. What were you feeling during that time?
It was the hardest time of my life. I just felt failure in not being able to stay pregnant with her. I felt guilt. Obviously, I was terrified. There was a lot of physical pain. It was a very dark period of my life.
I know you talked about your reliance on faith and prayers through that journey. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we have a wonderful church here in Kansas City who, from the moment they found out there were complications with Ellie's pregnancy, just started praying for us and really showing up in a strong way for our family. And between that community and our faith that no matter what happens, God had it under control. That's what got us through the whole situation. I just think I would have fallen apart otherwise.
We saw you last night at the State of the Union, and your joy was, just so apparent when you held Ellie and the president introduced you. Can you talk about that experience?
It was, I flashed back to the day that I first saw her in the incubator and just begging her to hold on and to fight for her life. And the moment that they introduced us and everyone stood up and started clapping, I just looked at her and I just said, "You did it. You made it, Ellie. You are changing the world." It's just, she amazes me.
Absolutely, and it was an amazing experience to watch you guys there. President Trump is asking Congress to provide an additional $50 million to fund neonatal research. How much of an impact do you think that will have for other families across the country who need that type of care like you did?
I think it's vital that this starts becoming seen as an actual medical problem and being talked about and treated as opposed to being swept under the rug. I'm worried that 50 million probably isn't going to be a lot. Her hospital bills were 10 million. So premiums can be very expensive, but I am so grateful for just being recognized as an actual condition and having research funds in that amount put towards it, because any little bit helps.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us and being on our show today. We really appreciate it, and thank you, Ellie, as well.
Goodbye. Goodbye.